Hi there, this is Sarvan Naryawan Mobiles, and a couple of months back, BlackBerry launched the PRIV in India, and this was my reaction. BlackBerry PRIV gets launched in India. In a day and age where even the top-end manufacturers are launching phones at affordable price points to sustain, one dying company, one sinking ship, one rotting fruit has decided to take on the upper end of the spectrum with its Android phone and give a stiff competition to the pompous Apple iPhone. This smartphone giant is not Samsung, nor Sony, nor even HTC, it's BlackBerry. The same company that used to make those phones with the keyboards. Released last year in the international market, the phone has recently been launched in India. It comes with a Quad HD screen, a Snapdragon processor, an 18 megapixel camera, runs on Android, and it's only for rupees 63,000. This apparently is BlackBerry's comeback device, and BlackBerry has high hopes from it. Maybe that's why they have priced it so strategically. I mean, it's more expensive than the Samsung Galaxy S6, Samsung Galaxy Note 5, even the entry-level iPhone 6s and the 6s Plus. But who cares? Who needs all those other smartphones when you can have a BlackBerry? I mean, this one even has a keyboard. We would want to wish BlackBerry good luck. Trust me, BlackBerry, only this can save you. Well, that was me then, but today I have to review this phone. And the phone is a bit pricey. It's priced at around 60,000 bucks, which translates roughly to $900. However, I won't be talking about price till the end, because there are other phones that are expensive too. You've got Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge, you've got iPhone 6s Plus. But what I would be focusing on today is whether BlackBerry PRIV is worth it or not. Now, before I begin, I would take the time and tell you why this phone actually matters. For those of you who've forgotten about BlackBerry, it was once a market leader, best known for creating QWERTY phones with special focus on social media such as BBM and BlackBerry Hub. Plus, it used to care about privacy a lot. And this phone has got all of it. Plus, this is the first BlackBerry to fully run Android. And BlackBerry has recently announced that BB OS 10 is now dead. So all the future phones might have Android too. So this is basically the first of many to come. And also it packs some hardware to reckon with, which I'll now list on your screen. It's got a Snapdragon 808 processor, it packs in a Quad HD display, 3 GB of RAM, and a big enough battery. So on paper, it looks good. And trust me, that's the only place it looks good. In real life, it's... Wanna know why? Well, I'll tell you, and I'm going to do it a bit differently. For each section we go through, I'll tell you what I like and what I don't like. So let's first start with PRIV's design, and here's what I like. Number one, the phone looks awesome from the front. The speaker grill down there adds to the character of the phone. Apart from that, while the phone does make use of metal here and there, it's mostly made up of Kevlar, a form of Kevlar that is very grippy. And this is very important for the phone like this where you have to slide the keyboard out. It's very comfy and ergonomic when you type on it with the slider open. But that was what I like. Now let's come to things I don't like. Number one, while the phone does look good from front, it looks very ugly from the sides and especially from the top because of its sheer girth. Secondly, with this slider open, one-hand usability goes to dogs. There's no way you can reach that notification bar without adjusting your thumb and your grip. Number three, the display protrudes out, and this creates problems if you wear tighter pants or you have a tighter pocket. And lastly, the camera lens protrudes out too, and that makes the phone wobbly on flatter surfaces. Coming to the display now, it's a good quality 5.4-inch AMOLED panel set at Quad HD resolution, and while the color quality, contrast and viewing angles are good, it is not as bright as the AMOLED panels on Samsung. So sunlight visibility is not top notch. Also, this phone has got Samsung Galaxy Edge Lite curved edges and even shortcuts for tasks, messages, contacts and notifications, but for some reason BlackBerry forgot to add app shortcuts here. Coming to the software and user experience of this phone, it's complicated. But I'll start with the good things first. The phone runs on Android Lollipop, but it runs it with stock look and feel. Hence you get a Nexus-like experience here. But do not get fooled. BlackBerry has customized it to the very core. One innovative thing I liked apart from apps and widgets, you can also place shortcuts for activities such as adding an event or composing a message right on your home screen. Next, you get things like double tap to wake and various other gestures, actions and tricks that you generally find in Chinese phones.
Also present is a security app called Detect that helps you give a better idea of your device's security and advises you how you can improve it, such as setting up a screen lock or protecting your phone from factory resets. And while it does inform you when apps use permissions such as location, voice or camera, it cannot stop them from using them.
Another cool feature is pop-up widgets, which makes your home screen icons act as widgets by swiping up. So you don't need to open these apps individually to check. A cool counter to 3D touch, I'll say. Also present is a physical keyboard, but don't just mistake it for a typing instrument. It also doubles up as a swiping instrument. It acts like touchpad and allows you to scroll lists, swipe pages, highlight text, and of course, type. When on home screen, you can start typing the name of an app and you are automatically in search. Pressing and holding the keys acts as an app shortcut. So you can have many shortcuts with this one. Now all that was the good part. Now here's what I didn't like. Firstly, the software is very buggy. Apps crash on regular basis, there are random reboots and even freezes. Next, features are half-baked, like you have double tap to wake but not double tap to sleep. But the most half-baked piece in this puzzle is the keyboard, since it works on scrolls and lists but not on the Google Maps. It can highlight text in editable fields but not on websites. You can swipe screens but you cannot bring the notifications bar down with it. And while it does support swiping left to backspace, you cannot use it as a cursor to go back to the characters like many of the phones these days do. In fact, I hardly used the physical keyboard for typing. One, it felt cramped, and two, BlackBerry's on-screen keyboard is much better with well-spaced keys and features like the predictive text. Also, in terms of software, this phone makes two additional promises. Number one is BlackBerry features, and number two is privacy. And here's my counter to both of them. Firstly, BlackBerry features. I don't know many people who use BBM in 2016, so I don't know if that's a selling point for this phone or not. Secondly, while BlackBerry Hub tries to get all your notifications and all your messages in one place, it does not support Hangouts nor does it support WhatsApp, so it's very limited. Secondly, talking about privacy here for a while, neither do you have app permissions, individual app permissions which you have on Android Marshmallow, nor can you lock individual apps, nor can you choose what app access what part of your phone. Neither does it have a fingerprint scanner, so I do not understand. By privacy, BlackBerry means what? Coming to performance now, all I'll say is Moto X Style 2 has a Snapdragon 808 processor and 3GB of RAM. And it performs better than BlackBerry PRIV. Possibly because of less app crashes, but even then, this phone feels a bit slower, probably due to animations. And we could not test gaming on this one because most of the heavy titles like Asphalt 8 or Modern Combat 5 almost always crashed. But while playing God of Rome, it lagged here and there but heated as hell. And this phone heats up a lot. It heats up while charging, it heats up while playing games, it heats up when extremely used, it heats up while clicking photos and videos. And since we are talking about photos and videos, let's talk about the cameras on this one. The rear camera is decent in the daytime, images are clearer, well illuminated, but low light photos are below par. Dual tone flash does help in the dark, but overall the camera would be an average at the best. Also, while you can shoot in 4K, you can't shoot slow motion videos on this one. Coming to front camera, it is not even average. A mere 2 megapixel camera is not fit for both this time and this price. It might just be good for Skyping, I guess. So now very quickly, I'll touch upon the remaining aspects of this phone. Firstly, calling. Calling is superb on this phone. Even with the slider out, it does not feel very weird. And in terms of quality also, it's pretty well. Noise cancellation works well. Calls were crystal clear. I had no issues in that regard. Coming to battery, it's exceptional. It lasts for a day and even more on a single charge. Plus in our video loop test, it lasted for around 11 hours. That is 3 hours more than the average 8-hour benchmark we have. And with fast charging on board, it gets charged pretty quickly too. The phone does come with 32GB of internal storage, but you can up it using a micro SD card to up to 200GB more. So now I believe I've covered all the important aspects of this device, and now it's time for my verdict on this one. So here's the summary of my review and my verdict for this device. BlackBerry PRIV is a very different device. Some of the things it brings to the table are very futuristic, may it be the physical keyboard, may it be the pop-up widgets, or may it even be the app shortcuts, the activity shortcuts that can be directly placed on your home screen. However, the problem with futuristic things are
they belong to the future, not the present. At present, BlackBerry PRIV is just a bulky phone with laggy software and unnecessary add-ons. It seems like a bad backup for a company who's losing market share pretty quickly. I would not recommend this phone to the majority of people. I believe you all would be better buying off a Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge or an iPhone 6s Plus for the same price. This phone appeals to a very small section of people. People who would be willing to pay extra money for the physical keyboard and maybe even BBM. So that was my review of the BlackBerry PRIV. If you have any questions about the device, please post them in the comment box below. Meanwhile, give this video a thumbs up, share this video with your friends and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. I'm Sid and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.